my virtual friends. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a much anticipated, long awaited episode of Your Money Matters Financial Empowerment Show. I guess it's safe to say that we had the summer off as there were some recalibrations going on in my life and everything like that. So we are back and we are in full effect, back to help you with resources as it pertains to money and finance, giving you news that you can use when it comes to getting your financial picture in place. So we continue to bring meaningful programming of resources and information and special guests that are moving the culture forward to help us to close the wealth gap, break some curses, and help some people. Tonight is no different. We have invited a very special guest called the Inside Man, and he is going to be talking to us about the good, the bad, the ugly of the auto financing world. So I'm excited to have him on. There are so many people out here that are looking to purchase a car and being taken advantage of because they don't know the behind the scenes things that they can use to help them to get a better interest rate, or maybe their credit's less than perfect. So without further ado, we were going to get into it and bring up Mr. John Rice, the Inside Man. Are you with us this evening?
I'm with you. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing fine.
Great, great, great. So, this has been a show that has been in the making for months, probably at this point, and I am so excited to have you on to come and share with the audience, because this is around the time that people start thinking, hey, I really need to get a new car, or putting their money together to come up with down payments and different things like that. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, John. Tell us about your business and what it is that you do for the consumer.
Okay. I started in the car business as a salesman, and then I was like, not like I was one of the best salesmen in the nation for General Motors.
Hmm.
I was a market excellence winner, so they gave me a ring, box, registered in Detroit, and from there I became my qualification. I became a floor closer, and I always worked at the major brands, none of the buy here, pay here, none of the chain places, all the major dealerships in probably the Philadelphia area, Pennsylvania. Different brands I went to back and forth. They were recruiting me. I also worked for General Motors, All Star Division. I had my own region. I was a manager over a region, doing business on behalf of General Motors with the dealerships. So, like I said, I was a manager sometimes in the business. Then from there, I saw and was taught and trained because you have to go to school if you really want to know about it. You just don't sell cars like academy, and you might take about 40 or 60 hours a year, maybe more. You go in person to learn the business, learn how to deal with people, banking, different classes you can find out about. You can take those classes. Most places make you do it if they're up to par. Some people just let you do what you want to do. All right. So
Gotcha.
from there, I saw everything they were doing, how they're taking advantage of us. But when I was in it, I was a closer, like I said, manager. I worked closely with the bosses, the owners, the desk. I was like, I'm from Chester, so
I was gonna have that. I was gonna have you mention that part. You
yeah,
got.
so I felt a certain way how we come up, how we're not taught certain things. So I always gave people a good deal. I basically did the deals for them without them negotiating. So when COVID took place, I had been in the business for, I don't know, approximately 10, 11 years, I guess, different aspects of it. If you remember, it was over the sticker. It was a drought, it was a chip problem. They were raising the price. So they wanted me to come back. So I was working, like I said, I was working for General Motors. They gave me a computer, a phone, car, everything, expense budget. They wanted me to come back because I could have made a lot of money. I said a lot of money, like well up in the six digits. All right.
Mhm.
For my skill doing 20, 25 cars a month, 30 cars a month selling, or being a manager. And I say 20, 25 cars a month, 30 cars a month. I'm not talking when it's 4 or 5 sales. I'm talking about it's 19 people on the floor I'm competing with.
Gotcha.
So I could have made a lot of money while they were taking advantage of people. And that's when I decided to start my business. And It's based on inside information, everything I learned. So it's inside man. So that's my business. It's not, I'm not a salesman. I'm basically like your lawyer or your representative or your advocate to get you the best deal. Your credit goes further through me, less down payment, or the down payment you want to use goes further. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Trade more for your trade. It's about real numbers, not they promise you what they're going to give you and then play with the numbers and take it away here, take it away there, overcharge you here. So I decided to come full fledged on the side, instead of helping the other side to represent. So I started doing it part time.
Gotcha.
Part time, I was working for General Motors, like I said, and then I kept doing it part time, posting, and then put it in with my everyday schedule. And while I was working with General Motors, I'm going to dealerships. So I'm looking at the books from the inside and I'm getting more access with the bosses, the managers, the owners to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with a plan, like something I've been seeing for years. Why don't we give my clients a better deal? Because I know you get paid from the bank and the
Mm-hmm.
manufacturer in other ways. So why do
Right.
we have to crush them or even make a big profit, if any profit, when I know that you have $50,000 on the line, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, literally to hit these numbers that the manufacturer places on you, that the banks place on you.
Okay.
So we can use that money, help you get your numbers. You can smack up everybody else, but you don't have to hurt my people because I already know what you're doing. You try to
Gotcha.
get me to do it and make a lot of profit and pad my pocket, but that wasn't my thing.
Mm.
So that's what my business is based on, getting us the best deals, less stress, less time. Get right to it. And the people who bought into it, the dealerships, the owners, the managers, the boss, where you call them, they bought into it because they need our business. They
Sure.
need our support.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when I post, I say that our unity is more powerful than atomic bomb. We stick together, then they have to give us the numbers because we got the money that they want. We got the
Mm.
numbers that they need, right?
Gotcha.
So that being said, if we pool our resources, meaning you might have bad credit, good credit. So when the good credit people come, you're on the bad credit people are on the coattail of the people who had the easier deals. So
Mm-hmm.
they got to take care of you knowing the other people are coming. So what I do, I have the dealerships bid for your business. So you going place to place to place, asking and begging and all this other stuff.
Mm.
I have them bidding for your business because I know they got money on the line and they need the numbers. So it works hand in
Fantastic.
hand. So that covered my past, the resume, and what I do.
Fantastic, fantastic. I love that. Being the liaison, the go-to in between places, in between the consumer and in between the dealership world. So I think that that's really really helpful, and I like that you said, I'm looking to help my people. So you know all of the tips and the tricks and the things that other people don't know, and you use that to your advantage to be able to leverage business between both parties. So I like that. We're gonna get into some questions.
There's no
And
salesman involved either. I don't deal with the salesman. I deal directly with the general sales manager or the desk manager and sometimes even the owner.
mhm.
So there's no salesman involved. Actually, the bosses, you can almost look at it like they're my partners or my associates. I'm doing the deal with them. Anybody been with me, see me in the office with them. I'm telling them the numbers I think should be, and we're coming together for the deal and the better of my client.
Beautiful. Okay. So um I heard you mention, there's some tricks and some things that the general consumer wouldn't know, as it pertains to the industry. Tell us in a narrow it down for us. How dirty is the industry?
Well, anytime there's money involved, it's going to be some dirt. And
Mm,
when they know there's a particular people, let's just get right to it, our
mm-hmm.
people. And there are people who grew up near us, you might as well say. And some of their own who just have a lot of money who don't care. It's so dirty that it's greed driven. And just imagine being You go into the dollar store. We all complained when they went up to $1.25. Remember
Yes.
that?
Yes, I do.
So just imagine going to the dollar store, getting some chips for $1.25, and somebody charges you $4 for them, $3. And then somebody get back and say, you could have got them for $1.25.
Mm-hmm.
Or grandmom goes in there, 75, 80 years old, you know, no man in her life, or even an older man or a younger person, they need a car and they miss a couple payments and they keep focusing on a few payments they missed the whole time the credit is good, but you don't understand that. And you might charge somebody $600 or $700 a month for a car that should have been $450 a month, $500 a month. That happens to younger people. It happens to people in their 40s, their 30s, and what they do, not all of them, but the majority. There's a few good people, but this imagine when you go in there and you're going there trying to be a good person and they just keep focusing on the negativity of your credit.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep harping on that, and then they use manners and a smile. Sometimes they get you something to eat. Do you want some water? Think about it. You want some water?
Yeah.
Like some water? You want this, want that? And they get you all cozy, have a conversation with you, and then they slam you. And then that's why when we go back to the car dealership, trade our car in, we hear these terms like, oh, you're flipped, inequity,
Upside down.
upside down. You heard it. And you're like,
Yeah.
how did I get there? I thought I got a good deal. And then they tell you, oh, you're stuck. Well, how did that even happen? If the deal was so great.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of different things. And particularly why I wanted to do this show honestly is because there are a lot of people who are credit rebounding, so to speak, where, they're getting their credit back together and they just so happen to need a vehicle, right? So it's a whole world of people out here who, are really being taken advantage of because they're looked at in a way of desperate. Oh, you're desperate, you need a car, your credit isn't the best. And I want people to know that they have options and they don't have to go in and feel like they're the ones that's begging for business when really these people want your business. I learned a long time ago that you didn't have to put so much money down, because people thinking that the more they put down, it takes more of the price off the vehicle and all of that stuff. And they just find a way to charge it to you in some other way. So, excuse me. So you end up not getting as good a deal as you thought you did, and you thinking that that's your $5,000 less owed on the car, and it's not. You still end up owing. So there are definitely some wiggling and some things that are going on that people don't know about. What is the lowest credit score that you've seen come in your path, and what's the lowest score that you've been able to help someone get approved for a vehicle?
Can I comment to what you said in that paragraph there?
Of course.
First of all, never go in there saying, "Oh, I know my credit is bad." You play right into the hands of them. Okay. And far as when you put down the money, in most cases, over 5 year term, some people know this, a lot of people don't. When interest rates are low, 0 to like 2.9, 3.9, every thousand only lowers your payment over 5 year term, $20, $18. If you have bad credit, around 23, 24. So if you put down 10 grand, you had A1 credit when things are normal, not now after COVID, because rates
Mm-hmm.
scroll up to like 4.9 for the best credit to 6.9.
Right.
And I say 5 years because that's like what most people used to take. Now they take 72 months,
I
84
know.
months.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is you put down 10 grand on a $30,000 car. That 10 grand is only going to reduce it around $200. That's it per month. It does not, it comes off, it's supposed to, let's use that word. They're supposed to take it off the bottom line number. All right.
Right.
And then, because I'm going to add on to what you said. And then from there, the payment is supposed to be what the payment is.
Mm-hmm.
That 20,000 that's left is supposed to be like around $400 a month if you had A1 credit. But what
Mm-hmm.
they do, you're right. What a lot of people do is just business. A good deal is a matter of perception and what you know. Most of us, we buy a car, and it's not just us on what we can afford. Oh, that looked like a good deal. We don't even sit there and add it up. We don't even add up the months times the payment. So we don't read what we're signing. I used to tell people, hey, you just gave me $100 a week for the rest of my life. They go, where? I said, where you signed that? I said, don't do that in front of me. Don't sign it without reading it. That's how I used to tell people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they'll add in all this other stuff and overcharge you, and then say they gave you for your trade, and then they really didn't. That's what you were talking about. Now,
Right.
to your question, I have gotten things approved, no lie, in the high 300s.
Really?
It was this year. But the person did not want to take the vehicle because they wanted something better. Okay.
Hmm.
Most places you wouldn't got that done.
Very true.
And that was like the lowest I've gotten approved. Now things happen in people's life, this and third. People get sick, things happen, have children, cold, whatever. I'm not here to judge. I'm putting nobody's personal business out there. I'm here to help you.
Sure.
Okay. But before that, it was probably like 435, 450. But in those cases where it was a repo, missed payments, you didn't agree with them, didn't pay, whatever it is, you may have to put down $3,000 to $5,000. And depends on your credit history, still can get you approved for around like 20, 25,000, maybe even 30, especially if you have a good job. So it's a mixture of credit score, okay, credit history, how you paid, what can you pay, where you work, zip code. Don't let them fool you. Zip code everything, because
Mm-hmm.
I've seen certain zip codes. 18-year-old won't get approved. Okay, you got to remember this is a computer, but it's people behind that computer. But you might live in the suburbs or affluent areas, and that same 18-year-old can go in there and get a car without a cosigner with 1,000 down, 500 down, or whatever. And you
Mm.
say, well, why this 18-year-old didn't?
Right.
Because that underwriter knows. That's why you gotta have dealerships that have a relationship with underwriters. Sometimes you can explain what happened to those people,
Mm-hmm.
okay, behind the scenes. People didn't see me do it for them. But what I'm saying is that underwriter knows that mommy and daddy or uncle or grandmom and granddaddy is not going to let that child or that young adult miss those payments because they're looking at the address in the area, and sometimes they're looking at their social. I think they can do that. It hasn't been confirmed, but
Mm.
not there's rumors about that. Not what I started, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm telling you is think about it. If you're in the suburbs and you're getting a car for $200 or $300 a month, your first time buyer, they look at that address. They can Google that house these days. They can look at the house. They know where it's at, and they know somebody in there is going to help them. And that's the case. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
time, the parents with them anyway, just making sure it's right. They know that other person who may be classified grown up underprivileged. They don't have credit history. They haven't been informed or taught about credit, and there's nobody to help them in case they get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've seen anywhere from scores in the high threes to 892 get approved. And people, oh, 890 on. I saw a debate on internet. 890 on approved. Yes, it does. It exists on TransUnion, while
Mm-hmm.
the rest of them go up to 850. Okay, so there's a few people running around here. That's an 890, 892, 840s, 850s, and some of us got those scores. I seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like collectively, we might be in bad shape, but we start behind the eight ball anyway. 400 years behind everybody anyway.
Right.
We haven't been taught this science of credit and things like that. We wasn't given when we grew up. It was called that's grown folks' business. Stay over there and mind your business while I'm talking business. When
Right.
other people they have their children sitting there, let you know how much is coming out the check, how to do this, how to maneuver. Sit right here.
Mm-hmm.
I was told that's grown folks' business. I
Right.
never knew what my mother made and what she paid out and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So
So financial literacy is very, very
exactly,
important
it's very
when
important.
it comes to credit and going after these types of these types of loans and things. So you kind of answered my next question, that can, where people with repos or bankruptcies or
Mhm.
credit histories that are maybe not as favorable, you seem like you can work with all different groups. My question is, how long should a person wait? Say they have a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, or a repo or whatever. How long should they wait before they can come in and get help?
That's a trick question you gave me. You just don't know it. You can go get a car tomorrow if you got the right money.
Mm,
You got the right cosigner. Sometimes it's take a cosigner. And in some cases, you so bad the cosigner can't even help you unless they're 850. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Sometimes a regular cosigner can help you. Somebody with no credit can help you. But you also gotta have somebody who trusts you and you're not gonna mess them up. So I never ask somebody, especially in front of you want to co-sign for them. I never put them on the spot like that when I was in
Mm-hmm.
the dealership. Now some people have that to their disposal. But what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying is, for and answer your question directly, the individual, if you have money to put down and a significant amount, you don't have to wait because we call it down payment. It's not called down payment in our world. It's called commitment. What's their commitment? The consumer says down payment. The
Mm-hmm.
bank says what is their commitment on what they're willing to lose or wager on themselves.
Gotcha.
So you can have a repo and have enough down payment that it is so many banks out here, hundreds of banks that will basically give you another loan, even though you have a repo, because they have insurance on that loan and they're willing to take a chance on you at a high interest rate. And at the same token, say if you had a repo a year or two ago and you have a nice job, there's cases where you can put down 2 or 3 thousand, 1,500 or 4 grand. Because that's a lot of money. You just stuck somebody for 30 grand. You just stuck somebody for 40 grand. So they're asking 4 grand down, 3 grand down. They might give you a car for about 20 grand, 25, 30. It depends. But in most cases, it's about 2 years, 3 years, and sometimes I saw a year. It depends on the dealership and how much influence they have
Gotcha.
and pull with the underwriters at the bank to get past that repo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's all a matter of where you go, who's the boss, is the owner of the dealership, how many cars they're pushing out, and your personal profile is a formula. Okay. Because I get it done a lot. But you
Mm-hmm.
can't go in there and say, oh, I want a Benz, I want this. You got to start with something that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Make, put your thing down. And once you put your thing down, make your payments and everything. Now you can trade out and do what you got to do.
Okay. That was definitely helpful. But I think sometimes people feel hopeless in that way where they just feel like I got all of these mounting things, but if you come with the right money, you'd be surprised how much you might be able to get something that is suitable. My next question. I have a couple of teens that could potentially be first time buyers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the process for a first time buyer.
Well, before COVID, there was a lot of programs for that. But now everything is cutting back in everything in life. So a first time buyer, it's still sometimes there's incentives that they give you, rebates, discounts. But really, first time buyer, are you saying without credit or credit? It's two cons. If you have credit, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you just get right in the game. But if you don't have credit, let's deal with that, the hard one. No credit.
Right.
It goes back to that commitment. What kind of job? You have no credit, a little bit of credit.
Mm-hmm.
Or student loans you're not paying on yet, they didn't defer them. So
Mm-hmm.
you can put down a little bit of money with no credit. So you can you saw that, my bad. So You can shutting the deck
Gotcha.
back. So you can put down a little bit of money and get in the game because you had a good job. You don't have to put down a lot of money. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So first time buyer really doesn't matter if you have the job, a little bit of money down. And the more money you put down, the more car you can buy. Basically. You can't lease
So
with no credit. You can finance though.
gotcha. So you really should be looking at your down payment, like he said, as your commitment, not so much that it's taking money off the actual purchase of the vehicle, but it's securing your ability or your commitment to pay moving forward if you put a sizable down payment down. That's what I'm gathering from what you're saying. Is that
Right.
correct? Okay.
First time borrower, not a lot of credit. If you say, hey, I want like a $20,000 car, 30,000, you don't have to put down a lot of money. You have a good job. It's like I said, it's all about the dealership you go to, how much pull they have. It's not about really you as an individual. It's how they want to help you behind the desk at the dealership. Okay, that's where I come in again. Because if you go in there and you go on everywhere, they stick together like a fraternity. You going everywhere, and they say, "Oh, you got to put this down, you got to put that down, and everything like that." You're going to think that's what it is when it's not necessarily the case. Because what people don't understand is when you have bad credit in these repos or first-time buyer, the underwriters and the banks, they charge the dealership a fee, is what they don't tell you. But it's not in your car payment. So if you have bad credit, first time buyer, they might charge the dealership anywhere from $300 to $4,000 to get you approved. That's gonna come out their profit. And that's why they tell you wasn't approved. You was approved. They didn't want to pay, it's like a street tax. They didn't want to pay the tax to the bank.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. We getting into it. We chopping down some
Mhm.
things. Um, if you have multiple vehicles, and maybe you have, a multi-family vehicle type of situation, how hard is it to get a loan if you wanted to add an additional car?
All depends on the credit score. What they don't tell you is once you get above like 740, 750, you can get two, three cars in your name.
Mm-hmm.
800 and above, you can get a lot of vehicles in your name.
Okay.
It's when the one person has a car in their name and your debt to income. Why should they give you another vehicle when you don't even make enough money to afford the first one?
Right.
But see, when you have a basic income or a nice income and you have a nice job, let's just put it that way, you have a nice job, you have good credit. It's your history and your credit score that says I pay my bills. What does it matter what I make? My credit history says I pay my bills. I need two cars. I had situations where a person I know got three cars in their name. Two were financed, one was leased. They gave her a call. Her income was such and such. And sometimes they can have these things waived called proof of income for the contracts called POI. So if they waive the POI, then you don't have to provide a paycheck stub. Most people don't even have to provide paycheck stub. So like if you got a 550 credit score, 570 credit score, first thing you do is you train to pull out the credit, the light bill, paycheck stub, and all that. That's to train you to do that. But you might not have paid everybody else, but you always made your car payment. His banks will say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is a 550, 575 score, but they always pay their bills
Right.
into this car. You don't have to provide POI. They don't tell you that because the first thing we do is pull it out, or they chump you and say, "All right, where's the proof of income and light bill that you lit and all that?" So what I'm saying is, the answer is, "Oh, I need it for this." We get the line. I need it for that. I didn't know. You tell them, "Listen, man, I need three cars because I want them. My credit says I pay my bills." So that's the answer. You don't have to. We give too many people too many excuses, too many answers that's not required. Why you want
Mm-hmm.
this? Even if it is a straw purchase, what's against the law? That's your business, ain't mine. They're not allowed to let you do that. But say if you never told them and you're really getting this car for your boyfriend, your son, your daughter, whoever. And they say, why you need all these cars? The same way we get smart with everybody else, you tell them the same thing. Because I
Mm-hmm.
want it, that's why. And keep your mouth shut. That's it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes a lot of sense. Piggybacking on a term that I've heard multiple times in each question that you've answered, a good job. Classify what a good job is considered by a
The
dealer
dealership.
or financer.
Well, I would to go deeper into that. When I say a good job, I should add to it. Say a good job, you don't have a lot of debt, a lot of money coming out every month out your check. So say like if it all depends is what is relative. It's all depending on what's going out. So could we say if you live at home, what a good job would be? And what if you had a family and you had a mortgage of $2,000 a month, 2,500, $3,000, 15. So I should clear that up. But I would say once you start getting past $50,000, 45,000, that's going to put you in another category. 45 to 50, they start looking at you a little different. But when you start making like $70,000, because money doesn't go far these days. No. $25 an hour is $50,000.
Right.
Okay. They'll start looking at you once you start getting around 35, 40. Like, okay, how much is going out? That's when they start looking at you a little different, around the high 30s, 40. You get 50 or 60, they be like, oh, we got something here. That's how they talk. And you come in and you say if you got like a 680, 700, they'll whisper behind your back, oh, we got a citizen out there. I heard that back in 12 for the first time. Like 13, 14, I was working different places. They say, oh, we got a citizen out there. There's a 680 because they know they can do something to 680. And then if you work in like the melting pot areas, you see a 640, 650. Oh, they like, oh, we might got a deal here.
They're back there drooling.
Yeah, well, it's like we got something here because in the melting pot area, you're seeing 500, 525, 550, 680. You don't see that in the areas near the hood. So we don't know what's called buying power. We don't know how far a 625, 650 can go. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I get that 625, and you got like about 40, $50,000 a year going, even 30,000. We might got something here. Depends on what you want, but if you got like 60, 70,000, you make like 72,000, it's $36 an hour, something like that. And you got like a 625, 630, I'll put you in something nice. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Because now we get to calling these favors. You put the pressure on the underwriter, that 610, 625, but I say 625, 630. Well, I can start putting you in something foreign then. Because now the pressure from the dealership that's selling a lot of cars, they're calling up Larry and Bill and whoever else is an underwriter, calling Mary up. Listen, Mary, I got some here. Look at -654-197. Now, you know what I mean? They look at that code, they go past computer, they call them on the phone. And then they give certain dealerships favors. They call certificates. So they can use that when they need it because they're selling more cars than the other people, the other competitors. That's why some people have the car and the colors and the other ones don't. It's just like being on the street, on the block, or mid-level, you the guy getting the bricks. So let's keep it real. They giving you more because you're pushing more. It's the same thing with them. The manufacturer is the cartel. And they're in it with the bank. What y'all don't know is the dealers, the owners, they don't own them cars. Them cars are fronted to them. They're on consignment. They owe the bank. They tell you about your bad credit. They got bad credit because they ain't paying their bill.
How about that?
Shoot. They tell you about our credit. They owe people $6 million on used cars. All the cars out there, add them up. Everybody go tomorrow and go past the dealership, a big one. Look at the used cars. They got 200 used cars out there. They owe them people $5 million with interest every day. That's why when you go, this is what I used to think too, a long time ago. You be like, I want this one. They don't, no, take that one. You be like, oh, something wrong with that. They trying to get me. No, take this one. I want that one. What's wrong with it? It's the same car. What they telling you is they owe so much on that car. They got to find somebody to put a lot of money down to bail them out of it. Is what you didn't know.
Mm.
It's the same car. You be like, nah, I ain't got so many times in my life. They trying to give me the one with the bad engine. Both the cars are new. You like, oh, something wrong with it. You know how we are. We spooky.
Right.
But the car been there 90 days. They owe interest on this car every day. And then the new cars, they owe on that too. Before they had to buy their pre-owned cars. America is so much trouble that they gotta get the used cars fronted from the bank and the new cars. They owe the bank $20 million, $15 million, depends on the brand. They used to come to me, yo, can you sell us another 10 cars a month? Can you close another 40 deals when I was a manager? I'm like, why? Man, we got like 300 used cars on a floor plan is what it's called. And we owe $6 million, an average of 20,000 per car. And they want interest on that money. And then the new cars is the same thing. There's so much that y'all don't understand that I'll be tapping into, but you had to be taught that. You had to work around it and be in charge of it to know it.
Absolutely.
My deals aren't for profit. Therefore, like I said, they get that other number and the kickbacks and pay their bills. Somebody call me, listen, I need a Grand Cherokee out of here. 4 of them. We owe too much. We got to dump them or a bonus on the line.
Wow. Okay. So again, we getting into the meat and potatoes of stuff. I just dropped my ring light. But so tell us, is it better to lease or is it better to finance?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. We have not been taught that science. And the first thing we always say, oh, I can't lease, I do too many miles. What they don't tell you is you can keep the car. You can lease the car. You got first dibs on the car. The car is depreciating. Your payments do not go to a balance to drop it. You're paying an occupant. You're occupying the car. So that being said, for me, leasing is better. And most people that's in the business, leasing is the way to go. Because if it's done right, and most people are not going to give you the best deal, they're going to make money off you. We're not going to understand it. You can't read the commercial. You're not going to read and study it. You know how it works. You have the option, like I said, to keep the vehicle. I wouldn't turn it in and let them inspect it. Keep it and finance it. After you lease it, it's the easiest way to get a new car, but you have a certain score. Or you can trade out early to avoid the mileage. I mean, you're going to save at least 20, depends on the brand, 20 to 40% leasing the car. And for the majority of you, you're under warranty. A lot of times your oil changes and everything is what they don't tell you. Because when I grew up, I thought it was just for, I'm just going to say it, I thought it was for white people. Okay? For business. They the only people we knew that leased cars. And there's a few people who was doing it, but they wasn't telling us.
Right.
So only people we knew who leased it. It's not nothing racist about it. This is what it is. And like, that's what the white people do.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you got to have A1 credit. I had somebody I know since we were teenagers. I knew of him. He came. He said, "Jay, I didn't think I could lease." He had a nice credit score. I said, "What?" He said, "I'm not like 800." I said, "You don't have to be." He wound up. When I got him, he told everybody like, "This is the way to go," because if you're going to go over the miles, I tell people, depends on your situation, trade out early. If you got the score, trade out early. There's a fixed number in there that you can buy it. And it's something I do with that number at the end if you want to get out the car. If I can't give that up, I can't get the game up. You got to watch it. You got to be a client. You still not going to understand it. But when you go to take the car back, I was going to tell you, I hold the car hostage. Say, listen, lease pull me back in 6 months. Now, mind you, when you take the car back and turn it in, they call the manufacturer, the leasing company, is a leasing company, and they buy it and they slap a bigger amount on the car and sell the car. See, it's set that they don't lose money, but when you finance, it's set that you are flipped or underwater. But that number, they're not going to lose on that number. But you got the first dibs to buy that. Now, say if you don't want to buy it, and you don't want to turn it in, I'll call up my associates. Some of them partners. Some of them may be friends. I don't call everybody friends. Some of them may be friends. Okay, it's business. Okay, and I'll say, listen, I got this car or this truck to buy out 22,000. Okay. You want it for your inventory, and we'll make a deal on it. And the money they pay over it, we put to the next down payment of the next finance or lease. Or like I say, you can keep it, but I would tell people to lease the car because you're always under factory warranty for a certain amount of time. And I can teach you and show you how to get the right miles. I can get you 60,000 miles for 4 years. Sometimes I do way more than that. Well, you need to trade out earlier. You need to keep the car. I can go more into that when you become my client, but we're not going to discuss all that here.
Right,
I
right,
don't think
right.
all these people getting new cars. A lot of people are financing them, yeah, but most of them are leasing them. And that's why everybody laughing and smiling and pulling up because I didn't put us on something that they didn't teach us.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say in the back of my car, if they read it, I'll put us in the best for less. Who in the car business look out for you better than me? Nobody. You got to show
Right.
me this guy.
Makes sense. It
I'm
makes
waiting
a
for the
lot
people
of
to
sense.
tell what I'm doing and what they want to do for us.
Right. So a lot of times people think with leasing, there's a lot of stipulations when it comes to like mileage and things
It
like that.
is,
Talk about that a little bit.
like I said, this is how they get you because we in a rush. We had a long day at work. We got family issues. We're sick. All kinds of stuff going on. And we are worn out. That's where I come in at. You don't have to go through all of that. And we go in the dealership and they give us 7,500 miles, 10,000 miles a year. Really is, you take a 3-year lease, you can take a 39-month, 42 or 48-month. Mercedes-Benz giving out 54 a month on a lease now. Okay. Because they know people can't afford these cars. Okay. So they give you the miles. You got to be careful with that because we don't add up anything. We don't like to read. That's how we are. Okay. So you should know about how far it is from your job. All right. If somebody tell me, all right, I go 20 minutes on the highway, I say, all right, you work about like 15 miles from your house.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that. You know what I mean? So you might go half an hour. That's 19 miles in traffic or whatever. So I tell people, if you're doing a whole lot of miles, don't sign that contract. They'll tell you cost this much for it was is always overpriced. Because listen, you can't really get mad at them. You can, but you can't. It's a profit-driven business. Bless you. It's profit-driven business. They're there to make money.
Sure.
And if you don't know, that's your fault. Okay? Because we live in the internet age now. And a lot of people, my age and older, they don't like to read nothing. They don't like to just go in there. The younger people don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And those other people don't do that. So you take these miles, you got to be careful because it's like 20, 25 cents per mile. And I tell certain people, all right, you got 60,000 miles for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Trade out the car and answer to that or keep it. But my point is, say if you did 70,000 miles, you're 10,000 miles over, and you don't keep the car, you don't trade it in early because you can trade leasing early. And you do that. So now you got a charge of $2,000. Oh, 2,000. Your payment was so low, just divide that by 48 months. You didn't really pay that much money over. It's just in the back of the deal when you turn in. But I tell people, is that a lot? Don't tell me that when you're wearing red bottoms, got a $2,500 bag, go on vacation 5 times a year. I don't want to hear that. Okay.
I know that's
I don't want to
right.
hear about no $300 dinners that you do all the time and you got $2,000 overage charge and you already got a good deal. I don't want to hear it. I don't.
Right.
But then it's some people who don't have it. And I understand. So I tell them trade out early, keep the car, keep the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the stipulations there. But guess what? It's certain brands that I know of. They're not going to tell you that if you stay with them, they'll bypass 5,000 other miles. They eat
Mm.
$1,000 for you if you stay with them and trade out early or turn it in. They ain't gonna tell you that though. They don't say, "Let me
Mm.
see what I can do for you." They act like they call them Bill and Larry. This game. These some straight hustlers. Telling you,
I see.
people with
And
me is going to verify what I'm saying. They're like, "Yeah, I seen it happen. That's how they are." So I just
who would
cut through all of
ever
that.
think it's that involved, right?
Is
Who would
money
ever
involved?
think?
Do you
Yes.
know how much a car salesman makes in a major dealership before the internet? They were making $100,000 in the '80s selling 10 cars a month. I know
Wow.
I know car salesmen who make 200 grand a year. Do you know that the guy who runs the dealership is making anywhere from 25,000 to 40,000 a year? They told us to go to college though.
Hmm. How
Uh,
about that?
$25,000, $40,000 a month. I mean, excuse me, a month. Thank you for that. A month. That job, the guy that always looking, he'd be like, let me ask my boss. That job started at 100 grand. He's underpaid. And I'm gonna tell you something, I'm gonna put it out there because this is what it is. If you see one of us run the dealership, he's either underpaid on his way out or he's the worst one of us you ever want to see.
Oh
They
boy.
not giving him no keys, no dealership to look out for us. He's on his way out, quote a number, or he's the worst one of us you ever gonna see. Why would they give him that much pull? You know why? Because he got swag, he got game. You know what I'm saying? And when
Wow.
he see me coming, that guy, he know I know. I'm not gonna say no names who and where, but I'm gonna give you an out. He's underpaid again. He's a token for the number on his way out, or he the worst one you ever gonna meet in life. And they put him there because of his rapport with us and all of their people of all ethnic races. I dare somebody challenge me on it.
I don't know.
Sharks.
It
Thank you
sounds
again.
about right. It sounds about right. And
Came inside, man. Give me some things to say here. Sharks.
that's pretty. That's how that go in pretty much any high ranking position. Sadly, a lot of the times we throw each other under the bus to rise to the top. So
Can I
that
tell you
makes
something right
sense.
quick? Can I tell you something?
I don't know.
30
Go ahead.
seconds.
Go
I was working
ahead.
somewhere in 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was this lady. She was so nice. You know everybody got that auntie or grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And they took this black dude, knowing he kind of want to be in with them. And they said, could you tell her that she missed a couple bills 3 or 4 years ago? Here, the lady still was a 680. That's good. Trust 680 is gold these days.
Mm-hmm.
They can call and get a favor, get that bump to the next tier in certain case, certain brands. Okay. I do it all the time. People bear me witness. They asked him to go to her because she liked this young man. Because I at the time was 30, I was 43. I was turning 43 that year. He had to be in his early 30s and he was sharp, this guy. And he went over to them just like they said. And he was like, yeah, I think he even called her auntie. And he pointed out everything bad in her credit. And he said, it goes up to 850, 890, but you're a 680. Could you put down another $1,500 or $2,000 to get the car? And I said something to him. I said, you're going to do that for them? They don't do that to their own. You're going to do that on that lady? And they wound up getting him later because they saw what he did. But this is how you asked me earlier, how dirty it is. When people don't know their credit and you show them and they never had credit literacy and you tell them they're 680, think about it. And you're an older person. You never knew anything about this. And they like, I know I missed my mortgage a couple times when my husband died and I got a little sick. They're 67 now. And you point out 680. It's just common sense to them, but it's not. And you show it goes up to 850 to 890. That person think they got bad credit now. But they want that type of car. What you think they're going to do? They're going to go in that cookie jar because that's where they keep
Get
the
the
money
rest of the money.
and give them the rest of the money. And then they're going to overstart on something else.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
they sell you a car. I'll tell you another story too. Ask me later about the car was sold to a female. I said on another podcast, the car didn't go over 50 miles an hour. I was a closer. They want me to close the deal. She's a young lady and grandma had to co-sign for the car. And the dealership is always on infomercials up by the airport. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't gonna say the name, but I'm gonna give you location a little bit. What they gonna do? Anyway, because I already had this talk with them, right? And I'm not gonna say anything, but it's in Philadelphia area. And they had that lady co-sign for her grandmother, knowing the car. It was an SUV, and it was a Dodge Journey, like 2 or 3 years old. Think about it. They never let you take a car on the highway to test drive it most of the time. They know the car didn't go over like 50 miles an hour. And they want me to close the deal, and I didn't know it. So they fired me. They fired me over that, a couple other things. But they took her last 1,500, grandma, and then they didn't even get a warranty. So what you think happened to the car? And I'm trying to clue her like,
don't do it. Yeah.
What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna lose my job. You say, well, he said, you know us, he said. So I didn't go in and close the deal, but I'm looking, walking by like,
Don't
and
do
she
it.
wanted
Yeah.
the car that bad because they think their ice is colder. She ain't listen to me. I'm telling you, don't get the car.
Right.
It was the weekend Muhammad Ali died. I'm telling you, weekend Muhammad Ali died. It's that
Wow.
weekend. And at the end of the night, they said, we're gonna let you go. But I was gonna quit anyway once I seen that. Because I
Of
don't need that on
course.
my reputation. You're already trying to be a better person and things you ever did and all this other stuff. I don't need that on me. I want to go back where I'm from. I want to go where I need to go and see me and say, oh, that's the guy sold me the car, close the deal. Or, oh, that's the inside man now.
Right.
I don't have that on my reputation about business and
No.
cars and all that.
Because it already comes with a negative
Exactly.
stigma anyway.
You're
So
exactly right.
to feed into it and say he just like the rest of them,
And that's what they
you know.
say. People come in, but
Of
like, I'm telling you
course.
about you car salesmen, you car dealers. That's they don't even say it right. I'm telling you about you car dealers.
Right.
I'm like, that's not me. And I'm gonna tell you something. They used to do me like that as a manager and a car salesman. Here I'm looking out because I'm getting paid off the bonuses, kickback from the manufacturers. Like I said, I was registered. I was one of the best in the nation. You know what I mean? So I'm getting the bonus from the dealership. I'm getting the kickback from the manufacturer. I'm certified. I'm making a little commission, but it's times 20, 30 cars a month when I was a salesman. And I'm getting
Mm,
this back, the money back. I'm getting an extra 200 because I'm certified with good service. That's why he was going to give you a good survey because they got money on that sometimes. So
mm,
you just add it up. Well, I just said it quick. So I didn't have to do that. I'm playing the math and the bonuses and everything, the kickbacks. And
mm-hmm.
people say, I know how you are. You up here with them and you're a salesman. I'm not like that, bro. I'm changing the game. You know what I mean? I'm not like I told them a long time ago, years ago, when I was in it, right? And you'll keep harping that. And guess what? I'm not even gonna stop the wolves from getting you. I'm gonna go get the manager, let them close you since you want to believe what they saying, and you already think the ice is colder. So I'm gonna get right out the way, and I'm gonna let them punish you for saying that we all like.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm
Right.
gonna tell you that's how I used to be. I okay, all right. Hey, let me go get my boss for you then. When I had total
Right.
control as a salesman,
Understood.
dirty
So,
game.
um, let's talk about car warranties
Mm.
when you're buying a vehicle. Um, because I think that there's even some tricks in there. Talk about car warranties when you're purchasing a vehicle.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me be the interviewer for 30 seconds.
No, say go
Okay,
ahead. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
what's the difference between the manufacturer's warranty and the dealership warranty? And say like a chain, a corporate place. I can't say no names no more. No, this is legit. I'm legit. I can't go.
You're a
You know what I
mess.
mean? So what's the difference getting a car from that place that got dealerships all America and them type of places? What's the difference between the dealership warranty? Let's just start there. Let's just lead them out of it because it's the same thing. What's the difference between getting a warranty from the dealership and a warranty that says it's certified? I'm gonna tell you, I ain't put you on the spot like that. I see your
Thanks.
face.
I was
You
about
was
to say
thinking
I
about
don't
it. I
know. I don't
saw it.
know what
Here
any
you
of it
go.
we
And this is where I come in
know.
handy at. If the dealership give you the warranty, if they go out of business, you're out of luck. The manufacturer warranty that's certified, meaning you can live in Alaska as long as there's a certain dealership there of that brand, you could go there and get your car fixed. If what the warranty says, a certified warranty, it extends the manufacturer warranty that was initially given to the car for a certain period of time. Okay, it's extra. And sometimes, or most of the time, they give you a bumper to bumper, man. It's covering everything, not brakes, not windshield wipers. I'm talking about radio, transmission, engine, electrical. Man, certified, you got to read it to the extension of how long each one has a different term for the brand. Okay, that's why you want to get a certified vehicle. You cannot go from this brand to that brand. You might see this car over there. You say, well, this brand is being sold on this lot of this store. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I don't really want to say any names. Okay.
Don't say no name.
No, so that brand is being sold over at that brand, but used car. Okay.
Okay.
They can't certify the vehicle because it has to be sold from that logo of that brand. That's the only people who can certify is the people who initially sold it new.
Okay.
So they will give you what's the remainder of your warranty. And most used cars, it only cover the transmission and warrant of transmission and engine.
Okay.
The other components aren't covered. That ran out after 4 years, 50, or 3 years, 36. So that's when
Okay.
you go to bat and say, let me sell you a warranty. There's so many different kinds. And
Hmm.
then what you was asking, that warranty, okay, you say it's covering the transmission, but you didn't read the fine print. Well, that bolt on the top is connected to this and connected to that. That's what malfunction. We said this part. That's when you get involved with all that. That's why I tell people, if you can, just get a new car. We've been conditioned and trained to go in a place saying, I want a used car. And we talk foolish talking about, oh, you save money after you lose the money. No, you don't. That car is not worth that. That's why you're always flipped. I'm going to say it again. That's why you're always flipped. That car is not worth that. It did lose money, but they're still selling it to you higher, especially after COVID. I dare you to challenge me. Go look at a car tonight that was new 4 years ago. It's probably only 8, 9, 10,000 difference. You think you're selling money from when it was new. That car is supposed to be half the price. And the only people who know that is a person who inspects their leasing contract, because that's the real number in there. Then they get that car, put a little money into it, and then put it up to that price. And then when you leave, they high-fiving, kicking heels and everything, laughing at you when you left. Then you want to come tell the inside man, oh, I got a good deal. I just be quiet, like matter your perception. Oh, he cocky, he arrogant. I'm on the inside. Don't people see the pictures? I'm in the office with the people at the screen. I'm sitting there on the phone with the people.
Right.
If you don't do it my way, the right way, we don't give you our business. How about that?
How about that?
Listen, they don't sell the car or lease the car. Won't they go out of business?
Right.
Stop complaining about the people on the corner store who don't look like you, who give you bad service. Don't go there. They go out of business. Same thing with the car place. You don't go buy the car. You decide to ride the bus, Uber and everything. They go out of business, right? Here go my idea before it's time, right? I come in, yo, treat them right. Treat them fair. Get the other numbers. Smack around who you want to smack around. The people who come through this, nah, this is how we're going to do it. And guess what? We are good people. When we got the hookup, we tell everybody, oh, they got the best chicken wings. Oh, they got the hookup on the clothes over there. Oh, right. That's how we are. And I told them, they said, you for real? I said, oh, especially where I'm from. Oh, if they find out about this, they coming. Trust me.
Right.
That's how they are. Bad rumors, good rumors. It's true, whatever it is. And I told them, just watch. Treat them good. They're going to tell people. And then it's going to be on. And it's going to catch on. Because once I get the people who going to stamp it, who's popular, who's known to be good people, the people who was supposed to get a car, they're like, man, I went to school with her. I know. That was my ex-girlfriend. I know she don't pay her bills. How she get a new car? Once they see that, they coming. They coming. Sure. They coming. And I'm still waiting on them. Because anybody tell you, what? Yo, I'm going to give him a shout out. My man, George McCullough. All right. He put it on there. He put his, I don't tell people what to say. They give me a testimonial. And he told him, he said, this man don't miss. He told him. And he told me the situation. Some people were like, I came all the way from Virginia. All right, it was my cousin. She's a distant cousin, right? But she's still my cousin. How many dealerships did she pass to come to get the car when she said how far she came from Virginia? How great was that deal that they came way up here? Somebody I talked to once in a blue moon. Her father came up years ago. So you better, they call me a different name. You better call John, I'm telling you. He came up because think about it. If I can save you $200, $300 a month in payment and show you a different way to do it, or even finance or whatever, and I save you $100 a month, even say 50, do the math. You took a 72-month loan. I just saved you over $3,600. Right? Right? If it, all right, let's see. So, yeah, I save you $100, $7,200, $3,600 if I save you 50. What if I save you $100 a month? Then they told you, all right, it was a young lady, father told me, and you know, their family do a lot of business with me. Okay. I think they wouldn't mind, you know, it's a Starkey family. Father told me, he said, man, they tried to get her to put down $6,000. I'm not gonna say what she didn't put down, what she put down was nowhere near that. Okay. He gave me the that. He gave me the props. And I'm thinking about this, that you save thousands of dollars because you just know how to buy a car. So I saved you 2 or 3 thousand there, 50 to 100 or more a month there. I got you more for your trade. Not saying we're going to give you this for the trade and then steal it back. Real numbers. So I got you another 1,000 for your trade. People will tell you their car. I said to them, I might have been on vacation or free or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Free time or whatever. Or working, and say, listen, don't drive that car. Just get it there. Car that broke down the street from dealerships. Car that broke down when it got there, smoking. People probably tell you, I'm not gonna say who it was, but I got 1,000 to 2,000 real money. Not they put it and took it back. I've had people trade the car in, and you don't know this. You don't have to give them the whole car. Your car might be paid for worth 10 grand, 8 grand. You might have equity in your car. I can make them give you a check back to get your kitchen fixed or the roof fixed or go on vacation. Yo, give her back 2 grand, and she gonna put down this amount of money. Or the car might be worth 5 grand, 5 grand equity. Like, you need a vacation? Yeah. It was 3 grand, 3 grand down. You don't have to trade the whole car. Even when you don't own a car, as long as you got equity, I can do that. Or, yo, trade the car and it's worth 7 grand. You put down this, then get a car for your daughter, co-sign for her, whatever you want to do, surprise her for that. Then to put the other 3 and go do what you want to do. I didn't know I could do that. Well, who said you got to trade the whole car? If it's worth 7, 8 grand, who said you want to put down all that? We don't even know that. And when you go do it, I'm like, no, because you're you, I'm me.
So wait, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We are at our time.
Okay.
But what I do like is that the audience has gotten a very good preview into the inside of what it is like when purchasing a car, the do's and don'ts, that kind of make or break you in thousands of dollars, right? So people have gotten a preview as to why they should be contacting you when they go to purchase their next vehicle.
Right.
Tell the people how they can get in touch with you, and leave us with a closing thought, to make people feel comfortable with coming to see you as the inside man.
Okay, so they can contact me. It's really starting to be word of mouth. My numbers starting to get passed around. So I didn't did this on my own now for 4 years. I had saying selling them for 21 years. So I give out the number once I see that you're legit. But people will call me and say, all right, can I give you a number out? I'm like, make sure you give them the card. It looks more professional. But how they can contact me, they can just message me on Facebook. John Rice. It's a lot of John Rices, but it's John Rice, and in parentheses, the inside man. And the one with the blue suit on, right? So that's how they can get in touch with me and message me.
Is that there, Facebook and Instagram, or
no,
just Facebook?
I don't. I'm not on Instagram for a reason, because it's going to be too much traffic, and there's going to be a lot of people wasting my time. And most of the younger people on Facebook, they're kind of calm and mature. The Instagram, it's going to be just people contacting me. Yo, can I get this? It's like that. It's like going to be dealing with like Power 99 or something. You know what I'm saying? Just like, do you know the ads on there? So it's on Facebook, and that most people have it, just don't use it. And they can message me there, and we can talk on the phone right there on Facebook. Okay. Once I determine and hear your situation, then I'm gonna give you my cell number. I'm gonna give you my card. Okay. So this is just that easy. Or you see the dealerships. I'm gonna brush my shoulders off a little bit. People say the dealerships that I'm at, they looking up there. People call it John Rice work there. I'm not a salesman, but I guarantee you, if you go in them dealerships and go to that desk, say, I don't have his number, but I saw he was here doing the deal. Go in there and ask them. They're gonna call me. They're not gonna try to sell you a car. They know better. They're gonna call me. But I'm telling you, just go to Facebook. And the thought is, do you want to save time? Wasting time? You don't even have to leave your job. People tell you, I get the credit ran over the phone on the 3-way, or you go to their portal and put it in. Okay? You go to work. I'm going to work for you. So if you want to save some time, some stress, and a lot of money, holler at me. That is just that simple. You know? And you can go about your life and we put the plan together. You tell me what you want and I'm going to deliver it within reason. Or I'm going to tell you, I can do it, I can't do it. And they're going to tell you, it's like the people say, oh, I'm not going to miss because I don't have time to waste my time or yours. I'm getting older in life. I don't have time to be wasting time.
So he has a system, and we say system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money, right?
Right.
So
time, stress, and money. It's like
it is.
Simple as that. And then
Simple as that.
Your business is confidential. I don't put it out there who did what, whatever. When you call me, what did they pay? No, what are you paying? What's your situation? Everybody thinks unique here. Different times of the month, different dealership, different credit scores, different history. What can I do for you? Okay. These dealerships are waiting. They're asking how many more people come. Because like I said, my deals aren't done for profit. Mm-hmm. They're done for the kickback on the manufacturer and the bank money, other monies you don't even know exist. Let them do what they do with other people. You want to save some money, come this way. Okay? Gotcha. It's that simple.
So I love it. I think that this was very, very eye-opening. Because a lot of the times, like I said, people feel like their back is so up against the wall. So I can't thank you enough for coming and sharing the other side of what it looks like so that we can have some consumer confidence when we're going to buy a car. And now we have someone that can go with us, especially, for females or, maybe even men that aren't as experienced.
And the elderly, especially because some of us are getting older and we're not as sharp as we used to be. And we haven't caught up with the times, kept up with the times. And I'm going to tell you another thing. The people who have a low credit score, I'm not here to judge you. Things happen in life. Or maybe you just was sloppy or, whatever you did. I'm not here to judge you. My job is to help you. By helping you, I'm helping us. And best believe I made them understand they helping you too with that credit. You're just not going to abuse them. Okay. Right. Anybody been with me, man, it's like VIP for them. Cars are lined up, whatever you want. Nobody say, oh, man, she can't get that. She 500. If you talk like that, I'm like, watch that. Because this is a person spending their money too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So then you got to worry about none of that. And just because you got a good credit score, don't get lofty and arrogant because you buying everything you ain't supposed to buy and overpaying. They see you coming, you paid too much. You didn't have to pay what you paid.
Right. I love it. Well, we are going to get ready to go, John. I thank you so much. And I'm hoping that this gives people, like I said, the confidence to know that it just because your story with your finances don't look the best at this particular time, it doesn't mean that you can't have the vehicle that you would like to have or get started, with refinancing or whatever you need to do.
Let's put a plan together.
Let's put a plan together. So that concludes this episode of Your Money Matters Financial Empowerment Show. We like to thank John Rice, the Inside Man, for coming here and sharing his wisdom with us. And we will see you all in 2 weeks. We will be doing our Entrepreneur Spotlight, where we're going to be showcasing entrepreneurship and why it's so important when it comes to getting our money right. So I bid you all a good night and glad to be in front of you again. See you soon.
Thank you.
CMPradio.net, it's the station. Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be